You ever wish you had a personal assistant? Someone who could handle your research, dig through your notes, and even help write your content? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. Today, we're going to crack open the blueprint for a personal AI operating system, a system that creator Alex Finn built to be his very own AI co-pilot.
Yeah, let's just start with this quote from Alex, because honestly, it says it all. This isn't just some tool he's playing around with. He has built a system so effective, so powerful, that he calls it his $200 a month employee. The whole system? He calls it Claude Life.
So what exactly is the Claude Life system? Well, think of it like a custom-built personal operating system. It's like a command center for his entire work and life, and it runs right there on his own computer. And its job? To automate research, analysis, and just a whole bunch of other daily tasks. So here's kind of the blueprint for how it works. You've got these custom/commands, right? You type one in, and it kicks off a task. But who does the task? Well, that's where these specialized AI sub-agents come in. And the really crucial part is that this all runs on his own local files, which gives it all the personal context it needs to automate everything from creative work, like writing a newsletter, to tracking his personal and business metrics.
Okay, so the engine driving this whole thing is a tool built on Anthropic's AI, and it's called Claude Code. But, and this is a big but, to really get how this system works, we first have to clear up a huge misunderstanding about what this tool is actually for.
And here is the absolute key insight. See, Claude Code is marketed to developers, right? For building complex code, full-scale apps, that kind of thing. But Alex had this aha moment. He realized it's not just for coding. It's a powerful, general-purpose AI agent that can interact with files, browse the web, and do pretty much anything you ask. It's not just a coder, it's a doer. And that realization, that's what unlocks this whole thing.
All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of how you actually build something like this. Now, it sounds super complex, I know, but the architecture really just boils down to two simple but really powerful ideas: commands and subagents.
So here's how it works. You act as the manager. You give a simple /command, something like /newsletter. That one command is like you calling in your team. It summons a group of specialized AI sub-agents, say a researcher and a writer, and they know exactly what to do to work together and get that job done. And what's really brilliant about this whole thing is how surprisingly simple it is to get started. I mean, you're not writing tons and tons of code here. It's basically a 4-step setup. You create a folder for all your files, you open up your terminal, you install the tool with one command, and then, and this is the magic part, you just paste in a single high-level master prompt. Okay, and this is where it gets kind of mind-bending. You'd think you would have to write out every single little instruction for every sub-agent, right? Nope. You give the AI one master prompt, and it literally builds the rest of the system itself. Just like Alex says, the AI literally prompts itself. Think about that for a second. It reads your one high-level goal, and from that, it designs its own internal structure, it writes its own detailed instructions, and it assembles its own team of sub-agents to make it happen. So, for example, let's say you tell it to build you a newsletter system. What does it do? It goes and reads all of your past newsletters to learn your unique style and voice. Then it generates a brand new, super detailed prompt for its own writer sub-agent, telling it exactly how to write just like you. The crazy part? You don't write that detailed instruction. The AI does it for you.
Okay, so let's see this thing in action. Let's make this a little more concrete. We're going to look at what is probably the system's most powerful application, how it completely automates Alex's weekly newsletter.
So this is the entire workflow from start to finish. It all kicks off with one simple command, /newsletterresearcher. The second he hits enter, the system wakes up. Step 1, it reads a local file full of links to competitor and inspiration newsletters. Step 2, a researcher agent goes out and scrapes all those sites, analyzing topics, language, and trends. Then, step 3, a writer agent takes all that fresh research and writes a full draft, in Alex's voice, complete with subject line options. And boom, it saves it all to a file. And the result of all that? Well, this one command saves him over 2 hours of work every single week. I mean, just think about that. That is a massive return on the time he spent setting this whole thing up.
And this isn't just for newsletters, not by a long shot. Alex has built out a whole suite of these commands. He's got one called /braindump analysis that scans a month's worth of his personal notes to pull out new content ideas. He has a /daily brief that scours the web for news and generates a morning briefing with some hot takes. He even has a /weekly dashboard that acts like a personal analyst, asking him about his metrics and then building a visual dashboard of his goals. It's incredible.
Okay, but as cool and as impressive as all this tech is, the real takeaway here isn't the tool itself. It's not the code. It's the mindset. It's about a fundamental shift in how we think about and approach our work.
And I think Alex puts it perfectly here. He says that one of the most important skills you can have heading into 2025 is just being able to automatically think, how can I implement AI into this task? It's all about building that reflex, cultivating that automation mindset.
You know, this entire system didn't come from following some tutorial or reading a manual. It came from Alex just setting aside time to experiment, to just sit down, push the boundaries, and see what these AI agents are really capable of. That curiosity, that willingness to just play around and explore, that's where breakthroughs like this really come from.
So when you take a step back and look at all this, what's the really crucial point? What's the big idea we should all walk away with?
Here it is. Building a personal AI operating system isn't science fiction anymore. It's real, and it's happening now. It's all about creatively combining these powerful AI agents with your own personal data to build a true co-pilot for your work and your life.
So let me just leave you with this final thought, a kind of call to action. As you go about your day, just try to ask yourself that same question. How can I implement AI into this task? Start building that muscle, that reflex, because once you start looking for those opportunities, you'll be amazed at what you can build.